Reports have claimed that Doug Liman, Edge of Tomorrow, is being talked about in regards to taking over the Gambit movie after Rupert Wyatt departed last month. Now, it looks like two other names are also in contention. Heroic Hollywood is reporting that both Joe Cornish, Attack the Block, and Shane Black, Iron Man 3, are also in the mix for directing the Channing Tatum-led X-Men spin-off film. Dennis, what do you think of these candidates directing Gambit?
Of these two names, I'd probably go with Shane Black just because I'm more familiar with his work. I mean, actually, neither director has done a lot of stuff. I mean, Joe Cornish did Attack the Block in 2011, and I know he's working on a few projects. He's helped with some writing, especially with Ant-Man, but he hasn't released a movie since 2011. Shane Black had Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He did Iron Man 3. But he's also still working on some other projects. So neither one of these guys are really that experienced. But out of these two, I'd go with Shane. I still like the Doug Liman rumor. I think he would be a good fit. You know, Edge of Tomorrow, everyone loves that movie, even though it didn't do very well. He did Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the original Bourne Identity. He has a long track record. So that's kind of where my head is still at, David.
I think I definitely go with Shane Black. I just like how he handled Iron Man 3. He made it so personal. I mean, you really got to know Robert Downey Jr.'s character. You know, it's Tony Stark. It's just him being an engineer again, you know, working on the suit, you know, his relationship with the kid in the movie. I just liked all that things. I think if you're going to do an origin story or a first film, I think Shane Black is a guy you want bringing that, you know, that humanity. We got to care about Gambit. We got to care about him. I think he's the guy to do it.
Josh?
I think, you know, there's so much pressure that is on these directors for these X-Men standalones because of Wolverine and kind of how maybe poorly done the first one was. I mean, I necessarily didn't hate it, but I think a lot of people had a lot of problems with it. Shane Black had a great run. Iron Man 3, I think, was my least liked of the franchise, but probably it was more of a standalone than it was part of the Iron Man franchise. However, something about Attack the Block and bringing that story, like a small story, almost like a Simon Pegg kind of movie. It had that feeling to it. I'd love to see what this guy could do with Gambit.
Yeah, but I mean, the rumors are that the budget is pretty big on this, a lot larger than I thought it was going to be. And you have, you know, with Joe Cornish, Attack the Block was a nice small project. Yeah. Shane Black has done a medium-sized project, and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and Iron Man 3 was obviously a huge thing, so we know he can tackle those big budget projects.
Can I just push back against that a little bit? I'm wondering, like, do we have to start big with Gambit? I mean, I know it's part of the huge cinematic universe.
I didn't think so, but
yeah, it's like I wish it almost start small, like you're suggesting, with one of these directors, whether it's Shane Black or not, start small and kind of just get the story right without worrying about the whole big universe.
The nice thing they have with Gambit, though, is he's never really been in any of the X-Men movies besides the Taylor Kitsch thing.
The crappy, it wasn't Taylor Kitsch's fault. It was just a crappy movie.
It was it wasn't that good. So they're kind of starting with a blank slate, and with that, you know, somebody like a Joe Cornish who may have ideas outside of this. Shane Black, obviously, I'm sure has amazing ideas. He's a guy from Pittsburgh. I'm sure he's perfect. But I think you give this guy a little bit of chance. Maybe and with a no-name director, maybe it has a little more panache, something that you're like, let's see what this guy can do.
Yeah, once they decided to cast Channing Tatum as Gambit, then we knew it wasn't going to be a small project, and it wasn't going to be even a medium-sized one. I mean, personally, I'm a big fan of Channing Tatum, even his comedy, obviously, with 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street, and even his dramatic roles like Foxcatcher, a movie I saw him in a long time ago, Guide to Recognizing Your Saints. However, as a fan of his, I still don't think he's right for Gambit.
Really? Who else would you see in that role?
That one actor from Game of Thrones. He's been in Wild and Age of Adeline. Michelle, I think his name is Michelle Musman.
Who'd he play in?
He plays Danny Targaryen's boyfriend. He's got that beard going on. He's got the long hair. He's got that roguish nature to him that I don't think Channing Tatum really gives off.
He was in Treme as well. He was great in that.
Yeah.
Well, also the British guy has been playing a lot of the romantic roles, like in Far From the Madding Crowd. Matthias, I think is his name. I believe we want to say he's Belgium. He's got the size, like 6'3", 6'4", big guy. He's got the look. He's a good-looking guy, and I think he's got the command. I don't know. I think Channing's always got. I like when he's goofy. I love Channing when he's goofy. 21 Jump Street, that new Hail Caesar trailer, the new Coen Brothers film. Yep. Looks like he's going to be great in that. He can do drama, but I think I like him when he's just being fun.
Do you think we're like a little oversaturated with Channing Tatum?
No, I don't think so. I just don't think he's a right fit for this role. I could be wrong. The movie could be great and he could be fantastic in it. I just don't. When I think of Gambit, I think of a skinnier, lankier, kind of like roguish type of character, and that's not the vibe that Tatum
No,
gives off.
definitely not. He's more of the cocky, walk in the room, everybody loves
Yeah,
him.
meathead, charming, affable,
Right.
that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I thought that's why he was good with Foxcatcher.
Yeah.
He fit that role.